1 out of every 8 airplanes will serve you water tainted with E. coli. Your $200 ticket is a carefully hidden $400 trap. And 85% of suitcases sold in the United States will fail a size test the moment you reach the boarding gate. Stop. The aviation industry is banking on your ignorance. They have built a system designed to strip you of your cash and confiscate your expensive electronics. This is not a conspiracy. It is a business model. You are the target, but you do not have to be the victim. Here are 10 rules to beat the system and keep your money where it belongs. Rule 1 of 10. 85% of carry-on bags found in retail stores actually fail airline size tests the second you reach the boarding gate. Owen, a 34-year-old teacher, discovered this the hard way at Tampa International Airport while trying to board a flight to Chicago. He had used the same trusted black suitcase for 5 years without a single issue. But today, the agent at the gate pointed toward the heavy metal sizer. Owen pushed. He shoved. The bag would not budge. The retail tag on the bag clearly stated 22 inches, but the airline did not care about what the manufacturer promised in the store. The system is rigged because most luggage brands do not include the wheels or the top handle in their official dimensions. But the airlines? They measure every single millimeter from the dusty floor to the very tip of the hardware. Stop trusting the labels you see at the mall. Here's the fix. Grab a standard tape measure at home and check the total height yourself. If that number hits 23 inches, you are looking at a $65 gate check fee. Owen had to swipe his credit card right there while a line of 100 impatient passengers watched him struggle. It is embarrassing and expensive. Reality check. Some agents might let an inch slide if the flight is not full, but as planes get more crowded, they are getting stricter. Owen's wallet was $65 lighter before he even took off. But a surprise bag fee is nothing compared to the chaos that happens when your technology turns into a security hazard. Rule 2 of 10. Check your smart luggage battery right now before you even think about heading to Miami International Airport. Gianna, a 29-year-old graphic designer, was already running 10 minutes late for her flight. She loved her sleek, smart suitcase with its built-in GPS and USB charging ports. But at the gate in Miami, the anxiety hit like a brick wall. The agent pointed at her bag and asked if the battery was removable. Gianna froze. She did not have the small screwdriver or the tool needed to pop the panel. The airline was not going to let that bag anywhere near the cargo hold. Lithium-ion batteries are a major fire risk in the belly of a plane. If the battery is built in and cannot be removed, your bag stays on the ground. They are banking on your ignorance of FAA safety protocols. Gianna watched as the agent tagged her bag for a gate check, only to realize the battery was trapped inside the frame. Stop. Here is the fix. Never buy a smart bag where the battery is not a simple pop-and-go design. Most airlines allow smart bags only if the battery is removable by hand. If you are forced to check the bag at the gate, you must pull that battery out and keep it in the cabin with you. Test it at home tonight. If it takes you longer than 5 seconds to remove it, that bag is a liability. Carry a small $10 power bank instead. It is cheaper and safer. Understand this. While agents have some discretion, safety rules are non-negotiable. Gianna had to ditch her expensive bag at the terminal just to make her flight. You just saved your luggage. But that is nothing compared to the weight trap waiting to take your last $75. Rule 3 of 10. Emily, a 45-year-old accountant, stood at the gate at San Francisco International Airport, watching the line crawl forward. She felt confident. Her carry-on had passed the size test with room to spare. Then the agent pointed to a small silver digital scale hidden behind the counter. Emily's bag hit the platform. The red numbers flickered and stopped at 26 pounds. The airline limit for this specific fare was 15 pounds. "That is over the limit," the agent said while reaching for a bright orange luggage tag. "That will be $75 to check it right now." Stop. This is the weight trap. Most travelers obsess over dimensions, but airlines are now hunting for heavy bags to increase fuel efficiency and revenue. They are banking on your ignorance of their specific weight limits. To them, a heavy bag is just a hidden fee waiting to happen. Emily did not panic. She stepped out of line and opened her suitcase right there on the floor. She pulled out her thickest wool sweater and a heavy laptop. She put on her thickest hoodie and stuffed her pockets with her camera and 3 portable chargers. Clothes on your body do not have a weight limit. She went back to the scale. 14.8 pounds. The agent nodded, looking visibly disappointed. Emily walked through the jet bridge with her money still in her pocket. A polite attitude and a heavy jacket usually lead to the best results. They want your cash. Do not give it to them. Emily survived the scale, but your liquids are the next target. Rule 4 of 10. Have you ever felt that sudden surge of relief when you spot those sleek, high-tech CT scanners at security? Matthew, a 22-year-old software developer, certainly did while heading home through Rome Fiumicino Airport. The signs said he could leave his liquids and laptop right inside his bag. No more fumbling with plastic bins. No more strict 3.4-ounce limits. He felt like he had finally reached the future of travel. Matthew even bought a high-end bottle of Italian olive oil to bring home in his carry-on. The guard nodded him through. It was smooth. But there was a catch. Matthew had a connecting flight. This is where the airline will not tell you the truth. Even if Rome uses cutting-edge technology, your next stop might be stuck in the Stone Age. When Matthew landed for his connection, he hit transit security. Stop. The old-school X-ray machines were waiting for him. They pulled him aside immediately. "Liquids out," the agent barked. His expensive oil? Confiscated on the spot. Always follow the strictest rule on your entire route. If you have a connection anywhere in the world, keep your liquids under 3.4 ounces, regardless of the fancy tech at your first gate. They are banking on your ignorance of the transit process. Matthew lost over $100 in seconds because he trusted the system. Don't be a victim. But a lost bottle of oil is nothing compared to the nightmare you face when your phone dies at the wrong moment. Rule 5 of 10. In 2024, TSA agents are authorized to seize any electronic device that refuses to power on during a security screening. Evelyn, a 58-year-old editor from Boston, found this out the hard way at Logan International Airport. She was rushing to catch a 6:30 p.m. flight, her 15-inch laptop buried deep in her carry-on bag. At the checkpoint, the agent stopped the belt. "Ma'am, turn this on," he commanded. Evelyn pressed the button. Nothing happened. Her battery had died during the long commute to the airport. Panic set in immediately. The system is rigged, and they are banking on your ignorance. If a device will not boot up, security protocols treat it as a potential dummy shell for something dangerous. They hope you do not know this rule. Evelyn stood there as the line backed up, her face turning bright red. Here is the fix. Never head to the gate with less than 10% battery. If you're at Boston Logan, do not hunt for crowded wall outlets that might be broken. Instead, look for the information kiosks. Most of them have hidden USB ports on the side or the back that nobody uses. 5 minutes of juice is all you need to prove your tech is legitimate. Evelyn eventually found a plug, but the delay cost her the seat. Agents have the final word, and saying you forgot to charge it is not a valid excuse. A dead battery can mean a dead trip. You might think you are safe once you are through the checkpoint, but your privacy is the next thing they want to take. Rule 6 of 10. Keep your eyes on the signs, not the camera lens. Leo, a 31-year-old marketing specialist, was transiting through Helsinki airport. He approached the boarding gate for his long flight home. A glowing screen flashed. It asked him to look into the lens for what they called seamless boarding. Leo felt a knot in his stomach. He did not want his biometric data stored in a database he could not control or delete. The airline is banking on your ignorance here. They want you to think it is the only way forward and that you have no choice. It is a high-tech trap. You see the line moving fast, and the pressure to comply is immense. But here is the truth they will not tell you. You can actually opt out in most major hubs. Walk up to the gate agent and say, "I would prefer a manual document check, please." It is a standard practice. Most airlines in places like Helsinki or JFK are required to offer an alternative to facial recognition. Leo did exactly that. The agent paused. She checked his physical passport manually. No biometric scan was needed. It took an extra 30 seconds, but Leo kept his privacy intact. Understand this. While you have the right to ask, some international borders are getting stricter every year. Politeness is your best tool when refusing a scan. Leo protected his data. No to, что произошло дальше, сэкономит вам $600. Rule 7 of 10. Lucas, a 55-year-old chef, stood at the gate in Brussels, staring at a screen that just changed his 11 a.m. flight to 7 p.m. His stomach dropped. The gate agent offered a $200 voucher, acting like a savior to the frustrated crowd. Lucas almost took it. Stop. That is exactly what they want you to do. The problem? Vouchers expire. They have blackout dates. They are airline credits that force you to spend even more money with the company that just failed you. Under new DOT rules established in April 2024, if your flight is significantly delayed or canceled, you are entitled to a full cash refund, not just a piece of paper. They are banking on your ignorance of these new federal protections. Lucas asked for his money back in cash. Reality check. This applies specifically to significant changes and cancellations where you choose not to travel. Lucas got his refund and booked a better flight on a different carrier. Don't be a victim of the voucher trap. Vouchers are a gamble that usually favors the airline. But that is nothing compared to the health risk you take every time you ask for a drink. Rule 8 of 10. Do you actually believe the air you breathe at 35,000 feet is a recycled petri dish of germs? Most travelers do, but the truth is actually scarier elsewhere in the cabin. Chloe, a 41-year-old veterinarian from Seattle, was flying home when she felt a scratchy throat. She avoided the air vents because she thought they were dirty, but then she asked for a cup of tap water. That was a huge mistake. The airline will not tell you this, but while HEPA filters trap 99% of bacteria in the air, the onboard water tanks are the real danger. These tanks are rarely deep cleaned. An EPA study showed that 1 in 8 planes failed safety standards for water quality. Bacteria like E. coli can thrive in those dark, damp reservoirs. Chloe spent the first 3 days of her vacation in a bathroom stall. Stop. Only drink from sealed bottles that you see the flight attendant open. Avoid coffee and tea as well, since they are often made with that same tank water. They are banking on your ignorance to save a few cents on bottled water. It is a cheap seat, but a very expensive mistake for your health. You just saved your stomach. Now, let's save your budget from the fine print. Rule 9 of 10. Did you know that budget airlines often make more money from extra fees than they do from the actual ticket price? William, a 63-year-old lawyer, learned this the hard way at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. He found a steal to Las Vegas for exactly $199. He was thrilled with the deal. But at the gate, the anxiety kicked in. His 22-inch carry-on? That was $75 because he did not prepay for it online. A seat next to his friend? Another $40. Even printing his boarding pass at the airport counter cost $25. Suddenly, his $200 flight cost nearly $400. They are banking on your ignorance of the fine print and the unbundled pricing model. To avoid this, always use a private browser window when searching for flights and look for the all-in price that includes a bag. At DFW, many carriers now charge for help from a human agent. Use the airline app. Check in exactly 24 hours early to avoid the counter fees. William made his flight, but his budget was ruined before he even hit the casinos. Extra fees are a nightmare, but the middle seat is a choice you can avoid. Rule 10 of 10. Pick the back of the plane right now if you want to save your sanity. Luke, a 26-year-old architect, stood at Nashville International Airport staring at his boarding pass with pure frustration. He was squeezed into seat 12B again. That is the middle seat nightmare. The airline is banking on your ignorance of the real-time seat map. Here is the fix. Most travelers crowd the front of the plane because they want to get off faster. Luke learned to check the airline app exactly 45 minutes before departure. He looked for the last 5 rows of the aircraft. If the flight is not completely sold out, those middle seats in the very back stay empty the longest. He moved his seat to 32C. Stop. The gate agent nodded as he boarded. Luke ended up with the whole row to himself. It is not a 100% guarantee, especially on packed holiday flights, but it works in the majority of cases. Empty rows are a luxury you can find if you know where to look. If you do not know these rules, the airport will take your money every single time you fly. Don't be the passenger they take advantage of. Join our squad by subscribing now to keep winning against the airlines.